move into the project more important than what we used to do. Where we are involving in some project like tall buildings. That is a building which height is more than 20 or 30 meters. Or we will also be involved in some more important project like skyscrapers, which has a height moving up to at least 150 meters or 500 feet. You know, those buildings involve some particular consideration when we are undergoing design. You know, particularly you have how do you call it in French, in English? I mean, in French, that is a site, the site contest to exactly know what is going on, what is inside the master plan, especially for a large site. Because when you talk about tall building, you have a building which can hide than more than two streets, especially when it's located between two streets. And then after site context, when you're passing through the council to know exactly what the regulation is undergoing in that area, you should also be involved in the master plan for larger cities. You might also take into consideration when making site investigation, for instance, looking at the sunlight uh, curve, and then looking for, the sky view too, because you have to position the sunlight, the rain, and then even the wind to know exactly how you will be able to place your site on your project on the site. You should also move to site organization. In that step, you'll be involved and looking how the building should be placed on the site, especially the entrance for the access, for the free access. Then the parking too should be in consideration because those skyscrapers has very concentrated people living in the same area. You should also have an open space to be considered, and then the business travel and cycling connection. And then, especially for tall beauty, you you have to when you design, looking at the base, it is the access, the main entry, the building itself placement on the site, the pedestrian and motorcycle connection, because you should not have the same way for pedestrian and then motorcycle or vehicle use the same way. No, you should try your best to separate the pedestrian way, should highly highlighted so that you can know where the entrance, where the main entrance, where the open space, where the access to the parking. You should also try to separate the motorcycle way from the vehicle way is very important. In a flat apartment, you can try to mix them. I mean, separate pedestrian and motorcycle and vehicle compare the same thing because the way to the parking was so long. But in the sky scrapers, the way can be long, and then you have to manage those arrangements to fit them together so that the connections will not be very fluid. You understand? Then, after discussing with the customers, you need to go on site, carry out some investigation to really know exactly how sun behave there, to really know exactly how rains, the main direction of the rain, to really know exactly how wind is passing through your site. When you put those natural or environmental parameters together, you can now thinking about what we used to call ourselves architecture, sustainable architecture. Then at this level, you can now move to, an engineer or structural engineers to carry out some calculation of structural analysis design who pass through the understanding of the architectural plan and then the design himself, the mastering of the load that is the people that will be living inside your store building, that the load, the forces causes by the force causes by the load by the wind. That is the rain coupled to for a well situation in your site. Then after doing all those steps, you now come on your office now, collecting all those information data. Come and sit now in the office, do what they used to call structural design. And the first thing after architectural analysis or plan, you need to do a geotechnical design to get more information about geotechnical data, collect geotechnical data on site, to get more information about the soil, especially the substratum, to be able to face the beauty the load of the building. Then you will now move to an structural engineer who use you to do now design of the foundation, design of the column or pillars, design of the beam, design of the slab, and then footings. I mean, the structural engineer will be doing. The structural engineer will do design of the foundation, design of column or pillars, design of slab, design of footing, design of stair. Don't forget about. And even taking about also the fire protection. You take into consideration because when there's a danger or disaster, we should be able to leave the building in a very short time. That's why when you design stair, you also have to think about the hydraulic elevator for a fluid vertical circulation inside circulations where you are breathing. Those parameters are very important. Second thing, you have the services. For such type of projects, I mean, tall buildings, skyscrapers, there's a lot of waste coming from that building, like from the toilets, from the parking, from the kitchen, and so on. You have to collect all those things to be reused for the production of electricity or the production of gas. And you can also, if you are located in an area where you have a lot of sun, you can also have an alternative electrical power or supply, but to be depending only on electricity available from the council. So know that, mention that you know that a skyscraper will give you send out a lot of the waste that used to be that need to be reused to electricity production supply or to gas supplies. Those are two main use of that such type of waste. You can also the residue of that waste can now send site to do what they call uh, how do you call it used to produce vegetable, to produce vegetable like tomatoes, like pepper, like fruits. It's very important. So even the AC, when you put on your AC or the central the automatic ventilator system, you should be aware of the fact that there's a water coming out of this AC that can be collected and sent back to use inside vehicles. Very important. So the rain, like an instance, or even the flow of the rain also can be used to wash your cars. On in architectural, sustainable design, especially oriented by the inside tall building that is building more than 20 or 30 meters, or inside skyscrapers which are building more than 150 meters or 50 or 500 feet. The system of the constructions will be very, very, very different. The way of thinking should not be the same as when you are designing a small flat apartment or you are designing a small pavilion. It's not the same thing. You should think about the height of the building, the number of the person will be living inside, and the interconnection between pedestrian way, motorcycle way, and vehicles way. Thirdly, and last but not the least, we should also think about the purple load, the wind load, because after 10 floors, wind is very has a great impact of the toll on the building. And those are the parameters to be very, very taken into consideration, you understand? And then with a true collaboration between an architect and a structural engineers passing through a geotechnical expert, you will be coming up at the end with something more appreciated in terms of finance. But talking finance, you should know that those are maybe you don't understand it, but it's very important to say it. You know, when you carry out the cost estimation for such a project, be sure that the time passing through the agreement with your customers and the implementation on site can be so long. And in this case, you might need something like an additional cost linked to the fact that parameters or things would have changed by the time. Not excluding the fact that also the market and the environment of a project can also impact negatively or positively at any time on your project. Those things, when you're not aware of those things, you might be thinking that the architect is playing with you, and most in the most cases it's just a matter of misunderstanding. That's why communication is very important when the project is very, 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 very serious. The customer should be able to fit a consistent building, a consistent budget, and leave aside small thing for the case where some mm, factors not depending on himself or yourself as an architect could happen. Or because we spend more years designing flat apartment for particulars, even a pavilion. Now we are now involved. We are now happy to inform you that as 2025 is beginning, we are now interested on tall building or skyscrapers because our town, thanking the planning of our town, like urban planning of our town should consider the fact that we are mismanaging the space because we are using only two dimension, the spatial dimension. We are not taking into consideration that we can also use the vertical dimension. When we think about the expansion of the town, think about especially the horizontal expansion, but also the vertical expansion. And we Africans need to make as a priority the place for agriculture. And when we think about that, we are thinking of agriculture or development, you start looking at the way of the town should expand vertically because there's no limit that way. But that way you can have a villa, you can have a you need to reduce, the agricultural spaces, which is not normal. We have to make it priority, making some apartment for people, but thinking about what are they going to eat. That's why we should reserve the most part of the lawn of the land horizontally for agriculture, and then think about skyscrapers because with a no limit in vertical. Because the airport, when the airport is already in town, they can extend or shift it beside, the urban zone. Understand? It's very important. Thank you for understanding. We'll come back to we used to answer questions. We are asking question by question every week. So you can write at any time, consulting all our internet. It's like we are in Facebook, you can get us in Twitter, you can get us in uh, YouTube to consult, even through WhatsApp. You can just write and call. We are collecting all questions and trying to answer question by question, bit by bit, till we get to the end. Thank you so much.